Game 2, preseason 2023-24 is completed. Done. Here are my thoughts.
Yeah, I thought they did well. They fought. Got to clean some stuff up, but that's part of it. It's part of the preseason. They're learning, they're getting reps, and keep moving forward.
What do you see from Schoonmaker in charge?
Big body, big target. Think he's going to be a good player. Like what he's doing. I think it's been good. I think our operation's been great. I'm happy overall with how the offense has been run.
How would you say you played and this opportunity you're taking advantage of, and also talking about what you're saying on the side?
When I threw the ball, I thought it was a touchdown. To be honest, we're on the same page with the receiver. Thought I played great.
Of course, you know that the Cowboys fan base is worldwide, and they showed it today. So that was really cool.
Talk about fun in the end zone again today.
Yeah, I mean, big time. Of course, can't take all the credit. Great scheme, great call, great blocking up front, and then to put the ball in the end zone for a second time in a row. As weeks go, just building that consistency and just trying to put my best foot forward.
What did you do today better than you did last week?
I feel like I was more comfortable as far as playing faster. Last week, I feel like there were a couple of times where that be in pass protection or where that be running the football that I kind of wasn't playing as fast as I was thinking a little bit more. But another game under my belt, second game, I feel like I played a little bit faster today.
Thank you for coming to the channel. I am J Mac Sports 24/7. The Dallas Cowboys, our Dallas Cowboys, have just completed their second preseason game of the 2023-24 season. I'm still not excited, and maybe because it's preseason, and maybe because the way the season concluded last year, I didn't see anything that was, something to look forward to. Actually, I was a little bit more, I guess, pissed off, and I guess because I'm so old-fashioned and I'm such a Neanderthal in my way of thinking. I was I'm sitting there watching the game. I was like in a zombie state, of course I'm going to watch the game, the preseason game. Still, I'm trying to see what kind of depth we're going to have on both sides of the ball, and I watched other preseason games of other teams, and I guess maybe because I'm a Cowboys fan, I guess I look more intensely at the Dallas Cowboys, and they seem like they're as I'm watching the game, it just seemed like on defense, our backfield, defensive backfield, at many times were out of not in the right position, out of position. And then, as I alluded to in my earlier video, a lot of that falls on the coaching. And it's one particular thing that really, really irked me. Well, it not just one. It was two different things. One, the Will Greer INT. It just reminded me so much of Dak Prescott from last season. When I saw that, as we, marching down the field, and he's rolling, and he just not seeing that the defender had recovered, not anticipating that the defender may recover, and the way he threw that football, it was just, I could have left my living room, jumped in an Uber and drove to Seattle and had enough time to run out on the field and intercept that ball. When I saw the ball released, I'm thinking that's taking a while to get there, and I didn't see any in that throw. And but that just brought back deja vu to me, our memories of the last season. Of we're shooting ourselves in our own feet. We're hurting ourselves. The Cowboys is a good team. The Cowboys is a really good team, but we keep hurting ourselves. And so I'm thinking because of the miscues and the self-inflicted wounds of last season, and we won't see that in preseason. I mean, of course you're going to see it's preseason, but I'm thinking there's an emphasis on penalties and turnovers. I'm thinking it's an emphasis on limiting those type of miscues, turnovers, penalties. So I'm just watching the game like I'm like in a zombie state. I'm just like in my chair and I'm just watching. I'm not getting well, you're not supposed to get excited for a preseason game, but I would like to see something to look forward to. And what I keep hearing other players, former players of the Cowboys, express how the Cowboys defense this is the real deal. The real deal Holyfield. This is it. We have a defense. And of course the first two preseason games we don't see that. I don't see that. And they're playing rookies and sophomores. And we're one of the teams that have not had starting quarterback play yet. And by all means, I think he needs to play because of his performance of last season. So I haven't seen any reports, but McCarthy need to have him out there in preseason 3. He needs to play. And he needs to play more than one series. I am aware that Seattle played their starting offensive line, and I think the entire offense was with their starters the first 2 or 3 series. But what really got to me more than anything else in that preseason game, and I cannot really pronounce his first name, so I'm going to say Thomas, number 30. Before I get into it, he can hit. The boy was laying the wood. He can hit. Number 30, defensive back, can hit. He can bring it. But here's my beef with Thomas. We had just had a 3-and-out for the Seattle Seahawks. And there was a foul called on him, a unsportsmanlike penalty called on him, a dead ball foul. That's what I'm going to call it. And talking crap. And personally, I rarely see that call where talking crap in football to another player, and you're not even touching the player, where you are penalized for it. So, but here's my beef. It's just me. It's just me. And I'm just anal about certain things. If you are trying to make a team in any sport, if you're trying to make a team, you're trying to put your best foot forward. And when I say that, I mean action speaks louder than words. You got this, bring it. And yeah, he was bringing it. But shut up. I'm aware players talk trash to each other. I'm one of those players that like to action. I was one of those players, I should say. And I just like, show me action. Just do it. And because of he running his mouth, the Seattle Seahawks continue to keep the ball and immediately go and score a touchdown. So we had momentum. We had Big Mo on our side. We just stopped him. We had not too long to score it, and we're about to get the ball back again. And you need these things. You need this repetition in preseason. You need to show consistency um, um, in that regard. You can't. And if you're not showing it in preseason, how does that parlay over into the regular season? Anyhow, so it made me think about certain players, and it's not many in pretty much the sports that I've watched. There's one particular player that never played for any of the teams that I follow, that I like, but he was a hell of a player. He's in the Hall of Fame, basketball. And I'm going to give you his nickname. I mean, when I say his nickname, many of you probably would know who I'm referring to. This cat, he didn't say a word. He didn't talk trash. His actions spoke for him. A la, he's in the Hall of Fame in the NBA. He played in the ACC conference. He did not play for the team I followed, North Carolina. He never won a national championship, but he won multiple World NBA championships. So by now, a lot of you probably have figured out who I'm referring to. The nickname given to him was Mr. Fundamental because that's what he did. It was fundamentally sound. His go-to move, from what I can remember, was using the backboard, and when he's at the angle, he wasn't trying. He kept putting the ball in the basket. Tim Duncan, Mr. He didn't talk trash. He got it done. I believe I don't recall David Robinson, his teammate, talk trash either. But so who in football can I equate that to? Now this is before my time, but I've seen footage of him, and I've not seen any ESPN footage of this guy talking trash. He just did it. Jim Brown did it. Gale Sayers did it. And then in my era, when I was watching football, Sweetness, Walter Payton. Maybe somebody may have seen Walter talking trash. Walter he just did it. And I can't recall Emmitt Smith doing it either. That's another Cowboy, Darren Woodson. Darren just brought it. Randy White, the manster, half man, half monster. I don't remember Randy talking trash. He just brought it. Ed Too Tall Jones just brought it. Moose Johnson brought it. Didn't talk trash. Jay Novacek brought it. Now, I can't say that for Jason Witten. Jason Witten was a trash talker, but he backed it up. So, how do you classify a player like that? Do you call him a stupid player, an ignorant player? I know that's what kids do, and now they like to talk trash. I don't know. It's just what I would have done. You would immediately had a seat on the sideline. Because you're trying to make your team. And if you're doing this in a preseason game, the play is over and you feel you need to get in someone else's face because maybe he said something to you and he said something about your mama, I don't know. You got to go ahead and get in his face. And so it's always the case when the referee see the person who do it last, that's the one they're going to catch. It's not going to be, there's no talking trash. There's no replay and talking trash. Who started it first. So that just bothered me. I mean, just the little things bother me watching the preseason game because I'm still feeling what happened last year to see, when the season ended and, we were so hyped and, I mean, like, when is Dak going to turn this thing around? And, now we'd have lost our, we no longer have Zeke, and we yet to see Tony Pollard play in the preseason, and his replacement have yet to play in the preseason. But I'm hearing we're going to have a really bad team. I mean, when I say bad means good. When I watch other teams' backup quarterbacks, they look pretty good. Maybe because, again, I'm a Cowboy fan and I don't feel it. But when I see other teams' backup, I'm like, damn, why can't he be on my team or our team? Those are my thoughts of the preseason game too. If it's your first time coming to my channel, I really hope that you can consider subscribing to the channel, and as I throw up more content and grow the channel, go ahead and like and hit that like button for me, and please give me your comments on your thoughts of the game, preseason game 2. Are you hearing the same thing I'm hearing, that we're going to have this incredible defense? There's everyone that I've listened to from who played for Dallas, and this is it. So maybe we see some elements of it in the third preseason game. Peace.